Are you someone with ADHD and just want to be understood? Or are you a parent that has a child with ADHD and you would like them to be understood of who they are? Well, I'm going to tell my personal story growing up with ADHD and the realization I had about being understood and having ADHD. But before we get started, if you are a parent that has a child with ADHD and want some more guidance and some direction as far as what you can implement as far as nutrients, supplements, labs to run to help your child with ADHD, go ahead and download my free guide just below in the description below. Check that out. It's a free guide. Just download it. And I hope it can bring you value as I put that together for you guys. So giving you a little backstory, I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia. And, I was considered the goofball amongst all of my friends, as well as my associates, leaders, people I was considered, the crazy little goofball, and really was never taken seriously. I was always made fun of, but I kind of took it. I was kind of the class clown. And for a while, I took this as it was, but really deep down, I desired that I was just could be understood or at least respected and not always considered the goof clown or somebody that just wasn't taken seriously. Really deep down, I just couldn't handle with always being made fun of all the time and being the joke of the party. Even though it was fun and games, but in the long term, I would tell my friends, this kind of does hurt, and it was just something that I felt like kind of left out. I just didn't feel like I was appreciated. So for me, I struggled with this because even going deeper, I felt like I just would never ever be taken seriously or never have respect or never looked up to or never could be a leader because I was just always the class clown and the joke of the party, and therefore I felt like I just could never be understood because of my ADHD. But the biggest challenge I think that was holding me back all these years growing up in middle school, high school, is that I believed that if in order for me to be understood, I had to change myself. And this was a wrong way of thinking, trying to be something that I was not. And that was a big challenge for me because I was always trying to be somebody else, maybe one of my friends, when honestly that was just not who I was. And after trying to prove to people of something that I was not, I finally came to a realization that this is not who I am. And it isn't necessarily I need people to understand who I am or understand the way I think. Once I realized that trying to change who I was to try to make people understand who I am and bypassing that and letting that go, and by realizing that I should actually surprise people, not have to prove something that they think I should be, but surprise them that I could accomplish something, surprise them that I can go above and beyond being the class clown, to surprise my leaders, surprise my family and my friends, versus trying to force them to understand why the way I act and stop trying to change who I am. Once I realized that I need to focus on this, things changed for me. So the plan was to become a doctor, which I thought was at that time one of the most respected type of professions to get in, and was definitely the hardest. So I knew it was going to be a challenge to become a doctor with growing up with ADHD and dyslexia. My friends and even different leaders and professors thought I was, crazy because of the challenges that I had. But I did definitely have people that did support me. So even though this was the plan, there was definitely conflict and struggles going through this process of becoming a doctor. I failed miserably. I failed a lot of the core classes to get into medical school. I had to retake classes. And because of this, a lot of my friends and people and peers thought I would not be able to accomplish it. And having them think and proving the fact in their minds that, yeah, he has challenges in school, dyslexia, therefore he is going to have a hard time even be able to make it. But that didn't hold me back. I was very stubbornly persistent, and I would retake classes, keep retaking them. I would pass, and I would disprove a lot of professors by retaking classes, passing them, and getting through. Eventually, I got into medical school, and this surprised a lot of people. It surprised a lot of my professors, a lot of friends, family, peers. This surprised people. It surprised people because they couldn't understand somebody that struggled and failed so much because they knew my journey. They knew that I failed miserably multiple times and thought I would just give up just like anybody else would. But it surprised them that somebody like me that has challenges with ADHD and dyslexia was able to get through this. And because of that they saw that I was not only able to get through college and got into medical school, but also get through medical school and become a doctor, they were surprised. But not only that, had more respect for me because I changed who I was and not trying to change the way of their thinking and trying to force them to understand me, but being who I am and helping them disprove their disbeliefs on people who do struggle in school, people who do tend to think outside the box, people who do tend to might be the class clown and goofball wall, that we can actually still succeed in life no matter what the challenge is. So if you're somebody with ADHD, or if you're a parent that has a child with ADHD and you just want to be understood, or you want your child to be understood, let that go, because you're not going to change as far as who you are. Believe in your child, believe in yourself, that this is who you are, but you can disprove people's belief systems by uprising on the occasion, taking those opportunities to disprove people and surprise people. By surprising people, it'll be far greater than being understood. You'll be more respected and trusted because of the fact of what you were able to accomplish. I hear this too much from a lot of my patients and parents with their children, that they want them to be understood. You know, it is nice and it is something I struggled with when I was younger, but until I realized this fact that I shouldn't have to try to force people to understand me and change the way of who I am to normalcy. Who wants to be normal? Stop trying to fit in what you are not. Stop trying to change who you are not, but focus on who you are and grow that. And then over time, people will respect you for it. Over time, people will look up to you. Over time, people will want to be your friend, want to be your associate because of what you were able to accomplish. So the next time you ask yourself, I want to be understood, change that and ask yourself, how can I surprise people? I hope this message brought you value and changed something for you. And if you want further guidance and help, if you're a parent that has a child with ADHD, go and download our guide right down the description. It's free, has my protocols of helping kids with ADHD. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We talk about ADHD every week on helping parents with kids with ADHD as well as adults that have ADHD. Then go ahead and check out these videos over here. And until next time, this is Dr. Legrand signing out. And remember, you have an optimal mind. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.